hold up. It's that boy G playing. Don't give a damn. He cooler than a fan. Walking real tall. Some say he's a man.
Ready? What's going on, man? Katrina, how you doing today?
I can't complain. Everything good.
I'm glad you reached out to me. I've been seeing your movement, your organization. I've been seeing what you're trying to do. And I love seeing positive things for the kids, especially for the kids. But before we get into it, tell the viewers a little bit about yourself, where you're from, your upbringing, things of that nature.
I'm a Natchitoches native, actually. Had actually moved away, came back in '07. Matter of fact, that's when, remember, we met on the campus. And we were in the library, and I'm just like, when you told me, I'm like, you know the other girl, remember that? But anyway, I lost my little brother. That's what actually brought me back here. And my prayer was that the Lord would use me in any way possible, you know what I mean, as far as actually being effective. Not knowing me being effective was going to be a high call and I was prepared and ready for it. But like he say, many are called, few are chosen. And it's been a blessing. I come back, ended up going to school. After going to school, well, actually during school, I started working at the Boys and Girls Club, and I'll never forget it. The day that they interviewed me, I had literally just come from the court, you know, for my little brother or whatever, for us to see what the sentence was going to be or whatever. And I can remember everybody saying, I mean, you can't cancel that, da-da-da. I told them, T gone, I still gotta live, you know what I'm saying? And I just kept that mind frame. So for every obstacle, it just made me go harder. And in our reality, that's what we all gotta have that mindset, because adversity is here. You know what I mean? We gotta face it, and you gotta grind hard, because guess what? We come out of the womb, literally, you know what I mean? And of course, we say that about our black males, but me personally, I say even for the black female, and the reason being because we the ones giving birth to our black males.
Right, I'm gonna tell you something. You the first female that's gonna be on CHANGEOFPLANZ. Like, you the first one that's gonna be on. So
that's what's up.
I was gonna tell you that earlier, but I ain't gonna say nothing. But I went to school with Terrence. He was a grade. I'm 26. He was 27. He was a grade above me. I played NJH ball.
Okay.
7th grade. He was 8th grade.
Okay.
You know, so I knew him real well. My cousin ran with him and stuff like that. But all that stuff, man, like everything is just good to see what you got going on. But I want you to tell the people, block builders.
Block builders.
What is it? What is it? What type of program it is, and who's involved with it?
Well, let's just say it's an organization we actually started. Believe it or not, man, it's crazy. We started in one of the board members' living room, right? And it was amazing because like a week prior to even getting started, a prophet spoke to me and said what the Lord said I was supposed to be doing, which was counseling and all that. Well, the most amazing part about it is because when I met you, I was going to school for social work. Well, I had some legal allegations come up, you know, and the school actually told me I had to do one or two things: resign or change my major. You know what I'm saying? And I'm tripping because in my mind I'm saying I ain't been convicted or nothing. I ain't this, I ain't that, you know. Matter of fact, what they holding over my head, I ain't even do. You know what I mean? So here it is. I'm going to school for something I got a passion for, which is people. You know what I mean? So in the midst of it, my life changed, you know, and in the midst of my life changing, I gave up women. You know what I'm saying? The Lord called me in the ministry, and I'm like, Lord, I'm supposed to be a social worker. And the Lord said, what's greater than saving souls? So this block building is more so, it's an outreach in the community, but at the end of the day, it's the church coming out from behind the walls, because I am what he called me to be. And you know, it's a lot of people that don't believe in women preachers, but guess what? Out of all the things I could have done, you think I would have chosen to be a preacher? You know what I'm saying? Not saying that it's a sin and disgrace, because I'm honored that he chose me, but the most amazing part about it is like, man, you know, like for real, you know. And I can remember losing my little brother, and my prayer was, Lord, I want you to use me just like Hurricane Katrina. So that's why I use later Hurricane. A lot of people don't know that, but that's what inspired that name, you know what I mean? Simply because I know the prayer I prayed. Well, here it is. block builders came about, and like I said, it started in the living room, where as it started in the living room, it started out with 2 adults, and we had, I'm talking about, it started being standing room only. So from 2, I'm praying, Lord, I need some laborers. That come my 3rd person. Lord, I need some laborers. That come my 4th person. I'm talking about, he just started sending them, and it's just simply like this. I invite you to come. You enjoyed it so much you never left. That's how my board members and all that just came. So in the midst of actually growing and coming into the public's eye, we had no name. The name ain't come about until we got in this building. We, for 2 weeks, if not 3, we kept saying, we got to come up with a name. All I kept telling them, y'all, it got to be short and sweet, direct and straight to the point. We in the middle of a meeting one day, and one of the members, he talking, and I said, ooh, I don't mean to be rude. Everybody looking at me like, what's wrong with her? I say, man, he just dropped it in my spirit. So they looking at, I say, block builders. They always like, that's what it is. That's what it is. I say, look at it like this here. That's just revelation. It's confirmation. Because at the end of the day, we all had our share of bleeding the block. Now it's time to put some life in the block. You know what I mean? So that's what inspired it. More so just wanting to bring love back, bring unity back, bring that bridge that connect the young and the old, because we really been divided. I feel like if the young and the old hook up, then guess what? We can make some things happen, really, because it's a division. See, we wanna do a race war and all that. Man, no, we divided as a people, and until we come together as a people, we gonna forever crumble. He say, together we stand, divided we fall. So in our reality, it's time out for pointing fingers. You be the change you want, and that's what we instilling in these kids. Guess what? No more saying, if my mama was there, if my daddy was there, guess what? Pick up the pieces. Where you at? Guess what? That's where you gotta go from. Yes, you know what I mean?
Now, is it something similar to like a boys and girls club too? Like we welcome the kids, or is it for everybody?
Man, I'ma say it like this. We started with it being just strictly kids, grade school up, you know. Well, the thing about it is, to actually get the older people to come, we began to say, well, just come see what we feeding your kids, you know what I'm saying? And so in the midst of inviting them, people come and they just fall in love with it, because in reality it's enlightenment. You know what I mean? The thing about it is, guess what? All day long we all pray for wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, but sometimes it's going to be laborers across your path that's going to actually feed you the knowledge that you need. It's not going to be, you know, the TV, because as we can say, the TV has really influenced a lot of us to do a lot of negative things. And if your spirit man cannot filter it, then guess what? You liable to do and be what you see, you know what I mean? And become a victim to society, become a statistic, become everything you've been labeled as. But if you being around positive people, you know what I'm saying, you vibrating high and you just motivated, man, to be in that type atmosphere, I can't even explain it. Let's just say for 10, 15, I was at the Million Man March. Man, when I tell you an awesome experience, if you never been, like, I feel like I was in heaven on earth, literally. I believe it exists. Man, oh my God, I ain't gonna lie to you. That was an amazing experience. That was the best thing I could have done. And the thing about it is, I had my homeboy, matter of fact, one of the members, he asked me, and I just prolonged it. He asked me way in advance, and I just prolonged it. And then at the last minute.
How many members is it?
Right now we have Bernard Johnson, we have Josephine Mizier, we have LaRonda Brown, we have Algernon Miller, which is known as Stro. We have Chanella Moody. We have DeCarlos Pierre, on Facebook known as Montreal. We have Rob Real. We got Terrion Edie. And as much as possible, I try to have my mom and my sister active, you know what I mean? And of course, everybody, sometimes your schedules may conflict, but for the most part, those are my active people, you know what I mean? As far as really doing the feeding and actually, you know, and the amazing part about it, we got many different personalities, but when I tell you we can agree to disagree and it's all love, man, if you come in, I'm telling you, what they say, love conquers all. man, it's amazing. You will swear everybody literally grew up together when in reality it was just one accord. Everybody mindset on we got to do something different. If we don't do it, who gonna help them? We say they the future when society say they the X generation. They only the X generation if we X them out. No, come on, we finna grind it out. You know what I mean?
I want to ask you this.
What's that?
Like, some people don't know what these kids go through.
Man,
you know, I'm from Natchitoches. You know, I done seen people I grew up with ain't have no guidance about telling nothing and everything else, but some people don't know that Louisiana is 3rd in the nation for the highest poverty rate. And we're ranked one of the lowest in education. Like, what are your thoughts on that?
And all honesty, because you got a few that have been in the military, many of us on there have actually, we either done finished and completed college or got some, like a start in it. Well, with the way society is today, we're going to push education. It's a blessing to actually get it paid for, but right now with, in Louisiana, you know, the rules and the regulation as to basically being denied the assistance we need, most of us coming from broken homes and all that. This is my thing. I believe if you doing what you love, your passion, then guess what? At the end of the day, you winning because it's no longer a job. So go learn what it is that you enjoy, because the word says my people perish because of the lack of knowledge. If I got a little knowledge, you got a little knowledge, and we share it with the next man, then guess what? At the end of the day, you may not be where they going, but you there because you done planted that seed. You know what I mean? It's time to come out of the selfish mentality. It's more so to lift up our brothers and sisters. For a long time, see, because we've been deprived and because what's been embedded in us is more so like we really, you know, you don't want to see the next man up. We got the crab mentality. Man, it's time out for our leg. Exactly, you know what I mean? So I feel like even if I don't make it, I love to see people make it. You know what I mean? And I'm not racial by far. Don't ever believe that. You know, I got a passion and a love for people, but I love to see my people do well simply because I done seen them deprived so long. So if I can see you come out of the slums, if I can see you come out of the gutter, we done some great things, you know what I mean? Because most of them I done been down there with. My prayer is not only do the Lord continue to send laborers, but that I remain humble through this whole process, because I know it ain't nobody but God.
You're right about that. I want to ask you about this, funding and support. Is anyone helping you, or are you looking for partners, or anyone to sponsor your
Well, I'm going to tell you this. Right now, we are actually in the process of trying to get our 501(c)(3). We are actually funding out our own pocket. Yeah, we have had a few people to actually give to us, like when we go out into the community, because we not only stay in these walls, we do this every Thursday, literally every Thursday. But in the midst of doing it every Thursday, at least once a month, if not every other month, we go into some part of Natchitoches into the community. Our last event was supposed to be last weekend, which was homecoming weekend, so it kind of conflicted with a lot of people's schedule and all that. And because we short in numbers as far as those that are active, we basically canceled it. Well, right now, being that the cold season finna come up, is really gonna give us time to revamp everything, and I think we gonna go more so to quarterly, to do it at least 4 times a year versus trying to do it every month, because we coming out of our pocket. We don't publicize that we feed every Thursday, but we feed every Thursday, you know what I mean? And the thing about it, like I said, think about it, some of these kids coming in here might not even know where their next meal coming from, you know what I mean? But around here, it ain't like we got a soup kitchen or nothing like that. So anyway, we not only feed your spirit, man, we feed you physically, you know what I mean? So it's a blessing within itself, honestly, it really is.
So if anybody wanted to get involved, wanted to help out with the program, how can they do so?
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. Anybody can actually be involved. But my main thing, guess what? We say block builders, I must admit that my chief cornerstone is him. I ain't gonna be like Paul. I ain't gonna deny him 3 times. I'm gonna say who he is, you know what I mean? And so some may and some may not like it, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I'm not forcing my religion on anybody, because if you ask me, it ain't about religion, it's about the relationship. And I thank him that I got it, you know what I mean? But this was the Lord's vision for me. As I said before, a prophet spoke this into my life. Well, I'm one that I believe what the prophet say, and guess what? A week later, look how the Lord made it happen, you know what I mean? So that's about being obedient. I just tell my people, at the end of the day, guess what? Like, before we get started, we pray. Of course, that's something they took out of the school. But now, guess what? They trying to bring satanic, you know, into the schools or whatever. To each his own. I thank God that we all have our own choice. But me, because I got a love and a passion for people, I want to see your soul prosper. You know what I mean? So it's much deeper than just seeing you with the shiny rims and the nice cars. And I mean, that's good, you know what I mean? But the Lord says, seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all else will be added unto you. A lot of times we actually, you know, add everything else, then bring him into it. Nah, that ain't how it's done. You know what I mean? So the Lord come first. I'm just gonna say it like that, and we feed it to him. I do.
You're right about that. Now, what's your overall mission with your Black Business Program? What do you want to accomplish with it?
Well, the thing about it is, because there's so much hate, envy, jealousy, it's more so just really just being able to say I was on the land and experience love, you know what I mean? If love really conquers all, why can't we all come together? So like I said earlier, it's more so to bridge the gap, you know, because the kids are coming wiser, but they are weaker. That's word, you know what I mean? So at the end of the day, if I could actually guide the knowledge you have and direct you in the right path, man, the world will be a much better place. But that's why you tell them to be the change you want. Man, what we see, if I walk by what I see, I'm just say it like this here. I mean, I can go to as simple as losing my little brother, you know what I mean? The system failed me. I'm one that the system failed. Then here it is, I'm going to college. I'm one that the system failed. You know what I mean? Of course, I made it out. Thank God that it actually happened the way that it did. But at the end of the day, that's because I wasn't like most of our brothers. When the system come and put their foot on your neck, you know what they do? They fold and say, I take the plea. What I'm pleading for? Tell me why I'm pleading if I ain't guilty. I ain't finna do it. You feel what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I respect authority. Matter of fact, the words say pray for those in authority. So I do that well. You know what I mean? I'm gonna comply. I'm gonna be respectful. And I expect the same thing. You know what I told them? At the end of the day, now that was a painful thing. Last week I had one of my young men said, what do you do when you've been praying? You know what I mean? You've been, y'all say fast, is basically he using what we done told him, and I'm still not seeing the hand of God. At least that's what you say. Why you ain't seeing the hand of God? Because I can tell you one thing, you seeing the hand of God. Let me tell you why. You seeing the hand of God because now when every black male walk out his house, he's saying, mama, I'm finna go here. Matter of fact, every husband that's walking out, he's saying, wifey, I'm finna go around the corner. So now guess what? That come to unity. That come love. Because you know what? You can walk out this door and not come back. But I know one thing. I done told you what I had going, what I was doing. You know what I mean? This been going on. This nothing new. But now you got these phones and all that. That's what's exposing everything. What he say? What's done in the dark come to the light. This the reality of. You know what I mean? So it's just, man, I'm just enjoying what the Lord do. I ain't gonna lie to you. On Thursdays after leaving out of here, like literally, I be on a high, like a natural high. Like you gotta go to work tomorrow, but I just still be like, just man, because it goes so well. And you know, in your mind you have an ideal picture of how you want things to go. But if you just allow the Lord to just do it how He want, I'm talking about it be so, because every week is a different topic. You know what I mean? Where ironically on the week where a visitor come, it's like it flows so perfect as if they knew what our topic was. They just appear. You know what I mean?
So this is like, well, today, well, we on a Tuesday right now, but on Thursday, do y'all have like a fellowship on Thursday, or is it like it's like a weekly meeting y'all have?
It's like we mentor. You know what I'm saying? And the main thing is to renew the mind. You know what I mean? Because we educate, we empower. After you educate and you got the tools, then guess what? I can empower you to use the tools. You know what I mean? That's the only way you can evolve. You gotta have those two, what I just told you. You perish because of the lack of knowledge. So if I can actually educate you in an area where I'm a little strong at, that's like, okay, when we say block building, for each builder that's on the board, they may be a little more educated in certain areas. So I'ma trust your judgment that you ain't gonna steer me wrong. You know why? You can tell, because when they telling about certain things, you can see the passion. You know what I'm saying? So like I was saying, as far as with that kid asking me that, well, I'm a prayer warrior. You know what I mean? That's a painful thing to really, but I'm not a male, so I can't really, I can feel him, but I can't feel him because I ain't really walking with my, you know what I mean, looking over my shoulder. Well, for all my men on the panel, they feeling some type of way because, yeah, I've been praying too. Matter of fact, I've been humble. I done complied. That ain't stopped the idea of actually being harassed. That ain't stopped the idea of actually being racial profile. You know what I mean? You got one on here with dreads. That ain't, you know what I mean? So at the end of the day, you've been stereotyping, don't even know. But let me tell you what I tell them. See this here, your mind, it's a strong, think about it. In school, what your teachers used to say, that mind is a terrible thing to waste. We didn't understand it. Why you think when we get older, you say, if I knew then what I know now? That's the mind. You cannot waste it. You know what I'm saying? If you waste it, then what you got? They say kill the head, you got what? The whole body. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, guess what? The builders, the heads gotta stay strong. That's the only way we gonna be able to feed the body. So if you wanna call it a congregation, you can call it that, but I'm not gonna call it that, because at the end of the day, we just here to empower each other, motivate each other. I mean, like, I've been talking to people from all over the globe that wanna be a part of it. I know I've been praying for it. We got somebody from Florida. We got somebody from Baton Rouge, Texas, Houston, Dallas. What other? I actually even had an Asian to ask me. And I say, man, why not? You know, that's excitement, because you want a board of diversity. You know what I mean? You don't want it to appear as if you stereotype. Like I say, I got a love for people, literally. You know what I mean? But some people may not understand my passion. But guess what? One thing about it, when you passionate about what you passionate about, you willing to go all out, and it's gonna be some people around you that ain't gonna understand. That's like when the Lord get ready to exalt you, it's gonna be some people that's gonna fall off, and they gonna say you acting a little strange, you think you too much. But guess what? When you driven and you ambitious and you just got goals and you really trying to accomplish, guess what? You willing to sacrifice. What you think a sacrifice is? A sacrifice is giving up those things you love and have a passion for. You know what I mean? It ain't gonna be easy, but guess what? It's worth fighting for. Right. You know what I mean? That's for anything it is you want to accomplish. So, man, the Lord has been good to me.
I feel it.
Man.
When everybody see this, they gonna feel it too.
I want them to feel it.
Now, I want to say this, like, how can anybody who's interested, like, get in touch with you? You got an email or Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever. How can they get in touch with you?
Demars Katrina at Yahoo. That's email. I got Facebook, Katrina Demars. I got IG. It's lady _ hurricane 19. That's all. I don't really, to be honest with you, most of the crew, they really in tune with all that high tech, and I mean, I ain't on the snap and all that. Maybe I need to, you know what I mean, evolve a little bit, but I'm not gonna be, I'm gonna be honest with you, you know, I'm simple. I'm gonna say it like that, because when things was simple, guess what? That's when everything was good. Now everything's so complex, you know, and excuse me, that's like me telling the kids, you can learn anything you want. You know why? You got a computer in your hand. Y'all choose to read this petty mess, as y'all call it. You don't gotta be petty. Guess what? If you need a little humor, you can find that. If you need a little knowledge in this area, you can find that. Whatever it is you need is no excuse, because the library is literally in your hand, on the go. You know what I mean? So it's just all about what you want to feed yourself.